Okay, the first one is, in my opinion, the implementation of the medical curriculum in English as a foreign language learning in Indonesia indeed present several challenges that must be addressed with the right strategies to ensure effective learning. One of the main challenges I see is the difference in English proficiency among students within the same class. In many schools, there are students who have been learning English from an early age, possible through courses or other media outside of school, while others might just be starting to learn it at school. This creates a significant gap in proficiency. So, teacher must work hard to prepare materials and teaching methods that are suitable for each group. While the flexibility of this curriculum helps preparing diverse material for each level of students, proficiency will still consume a lot of time and energy. Additionally, I feel that developing relevant teaching material poses a major challenge, especially for teachers in rural or remote areas. As an equal teachers, I believe there are several essential principles for creating an effective and supportive learning environment. In my teaching, I adhere to a balanced skill approach, focusing on the four main language skills speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Each student has different needs, and as a teacher, it is important for me to tailor my instruction to meet those needs. If students if students require more speaking skill, I will provide more opportunities for oral interaction in class. Student-centered approach is also very important to me, allowing students to exchange actively through group discussion or a collaboration project can make them feel more involved and in control of the learning process. And the motivation is key factor, and to support it, I create a classroom atmosphere that facilitates both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. I hope to motivate students to continue learning by providing relevant and changing tasks along with rewards for their effort, and I hope to motivate students to continue learning. I strongly agree that designing integrated learning outcome and assessment is a crucial aspect of teaching English as a foreign language. Establishing specific and measurable learning outcomes. I believe that clear and measurable learning outcome greatly assists the teacher in assessing students' success. For example, if the goal if the goal is to improve speaking skill, measurable outcomes such as students will be able to express their ideas clearly in group discussion will make assessment more precise and accurate. And link learning goals with assessment activities. It is essential for the learning objectives to be directly connected to assessment activities. For instance, the learning goal is to enhance listening skill. The learning goal is to enhance listening skill. Then the assessment activity should reflect that, such as a listening test that assess students' understands of dialogue. This way, teacher can more easily monitor student achievement and use formative and they use formative assessment to monitor student progress. I highly value the use of formative assessments such as quizzes and direct feedback to track student progress. This allows teachers my personal perspective on effective strategies for each skill. The first is listening. To develop listening skill, I believe it is important for students to become accustomed to various types of audio materials, ranging from short conversation to longer texts like lectures. In formative assessment, students can engage in listening to song, podcasts, or interviews, or followed by light activities such as summarizing or answering questions. This helps them identify main points and important details in the audio contents while providing space for teacher to get direct feedback. For summative assessment, I think more formal tasks like listening tests can reflect their ability to understand more complex contents, including mind ideas as well as specific details. And the second one is speaking. Speaking skill can be enhanced by encouraging students to be more confident when speaking in front of formative assessments such as group discussion and fair conversation are effective ways to assess their fluency and accuracy in language use. I believe I believe feedback on pronunciation, intonation, and vocabulary is very beneficial at this stage. For summative assessment, I have preferred individual presentation or role plays in reward contexts, such as ordering food in restaurants or interviews in the company. These activities can strengthen their speaking skill in real life situations while training for clarity and fluency in speech.